All right, welcome. It is evening time here in the P&D's Variety Channel house. There's the D in P&D's, and I am the P. So Philip and Dylan. All right, so we're gonna start the beginning phases of a MIG 15 popsicle stick craft art. So this is one of those things that I've gotten into, and what I'm gonna try and do is give just kind of an overview of the supplies and the initial stages of gluing all the popsicle sticks together to get to the height and all that other jazz to be able to make this happen. All right, so here we go. So here we have basic supplies. One of the first things that I do is out a drawing of the plane, and these are to scale. This is 8 by 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and then I use that as the model because they've already scaled it to the top, the side, and looking at it from the front. So that ends up working out really well for that. And then I have this model of a MIG 15 that I will use just for reference of how things should look. The clamp here, it's a drill press clamp. However, because it's nice and flat and long, it's really good at gluing the multitude of popsicle sticks together that this is going to retire. Oh, we're gonna go to bed now. We're gonna retire. No, require to make this happen. All right, so let's take a look at that. This is how I do this. So let's get this back. First thing I do is I take my my drawing, and I'm gonna gather up a large amount of popsicle sticks to start with. So let's get a whole bunch of these bad boys out. All right, so there they are. This is going to be the body or the fuselage, the body of the plane. So the longest piece of the plane, also the widest piece of the plane. And then all I do is I'm going to take this stack of popsicle sticks and I'm just going to line them up right over the top of the drawing and make sure that it fits width of that drawing. I already know that these are going to be long enough, so I can lay those here on the length of the plane. I mean, that's easy to see. So now they're thick enough and long enough, with the exception of the height. So the height of this isn't going to work for the tail section. Now the tail section is really thin. So let me grab some of my smaller popsicle sticks. All right, so I've got, I think we'll go with 3, just to maybe, so it doesn't have to be perfect. I can leave it a little thicker just to make it a little stronger when I glue it all together. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna set those there, and we'll bring this as high as we have to make that fit. And then, so yeah, that'll work right there. So we're covering up the tail. All right, the last thing that we've got to come up with is all right, so again, I do the same thing. Wow, that is one bent popsicle stick. I don't know if you can see that. I think we'll get rid of that one, and we'll pull another one out. Hopefully that's better. No, it doesn't. All right, again, we're gonna go with 3 of our jumbo popsicle sticks for the width, or the thickness. And we're gonna bring this over here to the drawing again and do the same thing where we're gonna line up on the picture, and we're gonna gluing it. So the next step that we have to do is we have to glue all these together on their faces. So we'll apply glue here and we'll stick it to these. Once those are all glued up, the wider pieces, such as this wing, I have to glue on their sides to bring them together as one solid piece. Now this is the only one that I really have to do that with, because the tail section that I'm going to work on, that will be glued on later to the body, and it won't be that hard to make it stick. So I'll give you guys, I have my wax paper here. All these little individual pieces. So I've got 3 pieces of popsicle stick here, 3 pieces of popsicle stick here. However, these 6 popsicle sticks form 2 separate pieces of this wing. So I will put wax paper around these, so when I put them in the vise, they don't stick to each other, like that, and I can't pull them apart, because later on I have to glue them together like that. So I'll show you guys that, and then I'll let those set up overnight. All right, so at this point I'm gonna go ahead and show you what I do to glue these sticks together, and how the process kind of works out. I've already torn up 6 pieces of my wax paper. That is for each of the 6 individual sections that I have to make and glue together, you know, face to face like that. So I'll show you how I do this with one of these sections of wing. Now remember, the wing ended up having to have 3 sections to it to make it work out. I used some good Gorilla wood glue to start with, and I began to get fairly messy, which is a lot of fun. It's the best part of this whole thing. So I apply a liberal layer of glue. That was me going in reverse.
Okay.
So we've got the D-Meister on the recording here, help me out being my cameraman. All right, so that's a good liberal layer. Got that one right that time. And I'm gonna stick, let's get that down in there a little bit. Make sure to cover all of the sections here too, because if you don't get a good adhesion, then when you go and start cutting and sanding it, it can start to separate on you, delaminate, if you will. So that's. I do try to get them as square as I can, but man, I'll tell you that sometimes just doesn't work out, especially when I start wrapping them with my wax paper to keep them from sticking together. So nice. And I'm gonna take this, wrap it in my wax paper, and you can see my handle of my vise here has been quite covered with glue. Right there. It's all kind of lumpy. I don't know how many popsicle sticks I got here. That was 3, 6, 9, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. 27 popsicle sticks is gonna turn into a MIG 15 popsicle stick art. All right, I'll catch back up with you guys once these are all glued together and I'm ready to start laying my patterns on. See you soon.
Hey! All right, so in the last video, which will just probably be a clip to a larger video, we took a look at our body piece as we took it out of the clamp, and we had some issues with it. I don't know if you can see that, but it's not good. So we're gonna go ahead and remake it. This is 13 individual jumbo popsicle sticks. They look like this by themselves. We're gonna turn them into this, only straight. So we got, the other thing that I can talk about is how I put this together for the wing. And Dylan, you're getting that? Can you see that? Mm-hmm. So what I've got to do is I've got to take these pieces and run them over my sanding block to kind of level them out. And this is my sanding block, and this has got 80 grit sandpaper on there. And I'll just basically run it across here like that until I get a nice flat surface. And then I can take these individual 3 pieces and glue them together side by side. That'll give me enough space to make the main wing of this plane. So if you notice, and Dylan, you might want to stand up and do this and look down on it. So if you place this here, we have just a little bit left, which is what this is for, to give it the width that you need. And then I'll cut all that out, and the wing will be one solid piece by itself. I just have to flatten these out, glue them together, and then we have plenty of space. Yeah. That is true. All right, now we're gonna try putting this in our vise again. Let's see if we can get it straight this time. Matter of fact, we'll put this one in the way of the gap, because that's what happens sometimes is they fall down into that gap. All right. Okay, and I can peel this paper back, kind of see where everything's going. Okay, and clamp. Squeeze that glue out. There we go.
I'm clamping like a champ.
That's clamped. Okay, well, that's set up and is drying. I've got glue on my hands. I'm gonna go wash them. And we'll set this off to the side, and we can try and flatten out these wing pieces. All right, well, we're gonna work on these wing pieces here. So I've already flattened out one edge of this. which is all I have to actually do on this one, because then this one will go in front, and this one has to have both edges flattened, and this one has to have a single edge flattened on it. So, if you're okay, you can go. What are you doing? Goodbye.
Okay.
All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and flatten this one out. And I have this block, like I mentioned before, that it's got a 80 grit sandpaper. It's a 2x4 with a piece of 80 grit sandpaper stapled and glued to it. So that works pretty quick at bringing these things down. So we'll just go ahead and sand a little bit more on this one. Okay. That's pretty good. So that will work right there. Oh, welcome back, Dylan. And now we'll do both sides of this big piece. And I'm just trying to apply even pressure across the whole thing. That way, oh, that really worked pretty quick. Pretty good there. Oops, I just blew the dust everywhere. I'm kidding. All right, here we go. I make funny faces too. Just kidding. All right, here we go. And Dylan says my faces aren't always funny. Say hello, Dylan. That's Dylan's hello. If you've watched any of my channels, or any of my shows on my channel, you may have seen one of Dylan's movies. It was called The Burrito Heist. Actually, a pretty funny little movie. And if you haven't seen it, we can put a link to it up here on the video.
Are you really going to be able to do that?
Yes. Okay, so I've got these flattened out enough to where now we can meet them together. And if we were to glue these right now, that would be plenty of straightness. I'm getting a massage. I'm gonna pause now. Ooh. Ow. That's a little too hard.
Aw.
Let's see if we flip it over how it looks. Ooh, that looks pretty. Yes. All right, I think that's gonna work, Dylan. Oh, boy. Okay, so we're back. I'm gonna go ahead and say these are good enough to glue together because they're looking pretty straight. Again, like I said before, if you do have any gaps in it, I'm still getting a neck massage. Feels really good though. Makes it very hard to concentrate. But yeah, if you have any gaps in it, you can always fill it with putty. And then, you know, as long as the glue sets up nice and hard on there, because you don't want the pieces of the wing falling apart once you're done. But
Did you say putty? I got some putty.
All right, well, thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. If you like what you're seeing here, go ahead and hit the like button down below. If you want, you can subscribe. I think I'm up to 16 subscribers now. And for now, nubs up. Till the next time. Dylan's got you some putty in the front. We'll see you later. You can shut it off.